Okay, we're going to start chapter 25. And chapter 25 is, they're just adding one more digit to multiply. Okay, so I don't want you to let that get you stressed out. It's not that much harder, okay? It's really the same we've been doing already, just one more digit. So let's go ahead and do this one, okay? So 624 times 81. Okay, so we do each number on the bottom gets multiplied by every number on the top. So we do 1 times 4, 1 times 2, 1 times 6. Then we go to this number, we do 8 times 4, 8 times 2, 8 times 6. Okay, so that's all we're doing here. So the first one is 1 times 4, that's a 4. 1 times 2, that's 2. 1 times 6, that's 6. So that's easy enough. Then we add our 0 and we cross off the 1. We finished with that one. Okay, so now we do 8 times 4, that's 32. We put our 2 down. We carry over our 3. Okay, we just did 8 times 4, so we start here, carry it over. Now we have 8 times 2, that's 16. We add 3 to 16, and that makes it 19. We put our 9 here. This is where it gets tricky because kids are used to doing this. That is not what we're doing because there's still a number here that we can carry over to. So we do 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19. We put our 9 down, we carry our 1. We carry over our 1. Okay, so we just did 8 times 4, we just did 8 times 2, and then now we're doing 8 times 6, and that's 48. 48 plus 1 is 49. Now we are all done multiplying both of these. So why is this number so much bigger on the bottom? Because we're multiplying all of these numbers at the top by tens. Okay, so this is like multiplying the whole thing, we're multiplying it really by 80. So this is the tens place. So we're doing 80 times all of this, and we're doing 1 times all of this because it's 81. So this is the 1 that was multiplied by everything, and this is the 80 that was multiplied by everything right here. So now we're going to add the 1s plus our 10s. 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 6 is 15. 9 plus 1 is 10. Put our 0 down, carry our 1 over, and 4 plus 1 is 5. And then we do 1, 2, 3, comma. And that's our answer. Okay? So remember, you always carry over unless there's nothing to carry over to. So if we would have done, when we did 8 times 6 and got 48, then added the 1 and got 49, that's why we just brought them over. We couldn't carry a 4 over to nothing. So that's why it came down. But when you can carry over, if there's still a number in front of the number you just multiplied, you carry over. Okay, so when we did 8 times 2 plus 3, we did 8 times 2 is 16. We added the 3, that gave us 19. We put down the 9, and we carried over the 1 because there's a number here. Okay, so don't forget to carry over. Okay, so problems like that we have over here, like these, are they have the little comma ready for you already. So that's all that is. Okay, so don't get confused when you see something like that. That just means if your answer is 2000, then you write it like that. Okay, that's all. It's just there in case you need a comma. You can just put it. So, for example, it says Jeff bought 18 packages of toothpicks for a school project. Each box contained 500 toothpicks. How many toothpicks did Jeff buy? So we know that there's 500 in each box and that there's 18 packages. So we're going to go ahead and multiply those to find out how many. Okay? Okay. So we multiply that and we'll get 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 0 is 0, and 8 times 5 is 40. See, there's nothing else. There's nothing to carry to, so I just have to bring the 4 down. Okay, then we put a 0 here, we cross off our 8, and we start with the tens place. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0, and 1 times 5 is 5. Now I can add, and I get 9,000. Okay? So, when I put my, my answer in there, then this is going to be how it's going to look. okay, because it has those 2 lines. So your lines will just look like that. You'll put your 9 here, okay, and then that's your little comma here that's separating it, and you put your zeros in the end. So that's all that's for, okay? So don't let it confuse you. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is something, this is more review, and students did have a hard time with this before, so I'm just going to review it. Area is when we just do length times width, and perimeter is when we add all the sides, so it's length plus width plus width, because there are, if you look over here, you'll see this is a length, this is a length, so there's 2 lengths. This is a width, this is a width, so there's 2 widths. So if we're adding all the sides, we have to add every single one. We can't just add one or the other. By area, you're just multiplying one of each. So 1 length, 1 width, multiply, and you get your answer. So for area, we would have 33 times 11. And for perimeter, we would have 33 plus 33. Okay, and that would be 66. And then we would have 11 plus 11, and that would be 22. And then we would add those, 66 plus 22. Let's do that one first. That's 8, and that's 8. So our perimeter would be 8. Now for this one, the area, we would just do what we've been doing. We do 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Cross that one off, put our 0. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Add it. 3, 3, 3. 300 and, oh, sorry, that's not right. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 3, we just bring it down, so it's 363. Okay? So, that would be our area, length times width, perimeter, at every single side. Okay? Okay, this is another review. It's just greater than or less than. The only way to find them is to first solve. So over here we would do 6 times 7 is 42, and then 8 times, and what I like to do is I just put them over the top. That way I don't forget and have to hold them in my mind. Okay, 6 times 7, 5 times 8. Okay, so what I do is I just do 6 times 7, that's 42, and then I do 5 times 8, that's 40, and then I have my numbers there. I can just compare, and this one's greater. Okay, so just solve it first. Put your actual answer on top or underneath the problem, wherever it feels good for you, so that you can have your numbers there and not have to hold them in your mind and get them confused or anything like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so, okay, for 4 years of each year. So, again, when you're doing any kind of word problems, I don't want you to round. I prefer you to just solve, not round, so that we can really practice these skills. Unless you're one of my students who already has the skill developed, then you can practice your rounding. But for now, we don't need to do that. We can do that at the end of towards the end of the semester. We can focus on that more, but right now I really want students to just multiply. So right here where it says estimate the cost of going to college for 4 years, if each year costs $9,600, round to the nearest thousand first, I would prefer it for you to just do 9,600 times the 4 years. So this is how much it will be every year, and there's 4 years, so I would just want you to do this times 4, not round. Unless you just already feel so confident in this that you can start doing the rounding, okay? And then this is again skip counting. And if you look at the 15 and the 25, then it's kind of easy to figure out, if we know our times tables, which number this is going to be. We can try 2, but we know that 5 is an odd number, so 2 is not going to be it. We can try 1, but there's no way that two spots in the front are going to get us to 15, because we'll just do 1, 2, 15. That doesn't work. We can try 3, but again, 5 is the number, the one in the ones place for both of these, and 5 is not divisible by 3. So even though it works with 15, 15 is divisible by 3, but 25 is not. So that just means that you can't do, like, if you do 3 times 5, then yeah, you'll get 15, but you can't multiply anything by 3 to get to 25. So that wouldn't work with 3s. The 4s wouldn't work either because this is an odd number, the 5 is. So then we would go to the 5s, and it would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it works. And if you don't know all of those things and that's too much for you, then you just try it. You just go 1, 2, 15, that doesn't work. 2, 4, 15, that doesn't work. 3, 6, 15, that doesn't work. 4, 8, oh, that's supposed to be 12, not 15. 5, 10, 15, okay? And just do that until you start seeing the pattern. Okay. And this is some more of the area and perimeter. Okay. Okay, perfect. And this is the same thing at the bottom that we did earlier. So don't forget about that, where, you know, they just want you to solve it 2 different ways so that you can see that, okay, because we did that in our last chapter where they had a problem and they wanted us to solve it 2 different ways. Okay, let me see. Was it last chapter? Yeah, it was last chapter. Yeah, they wanted us to solve it 2 different ways. Okay, so just make sure that that's what you're doing as well. You do in parentheses first. Okay, PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So since parentheses goes first, then we do what's in here first. So it would be 4 times 7, and whatever we get from there, then we multiply it by 24. Okay, so that's how that one would work. Okay, that's all for that chapter.